As I keep telling people, I was shocked, but I was not surprised. This has been a very long time in coming.
Essa é, de maneira geral, a reação de quem vem acompanhando o debate sobre o aborto nos Estados Unidos. O vazamento do documento com a intenção da Suprema Corte americana de reverter Roe versus Wade comprova o que já era esperado, que o acesso da mulher ao aborto não é mais uma garantia federal e vai variar de acordo com as regras estaduais.
Roe v. Wade was a 1973 U.S. Supreme Court decision which extended protection for women to get abortions all across the United States prior to the viability of the fetus during pregnancy.
I think Roe v. Wade was not a women's decision. It was a doctor's decision. It was a white male decision made for white males. And what happened is that in some sense of the word, it got hijacked. And what I mean by that is it happened at precisely the moment there was a women's movement, and the women's movement began to make claims of the right to bodily autonomy. The reason you get Roe v. Wade is because doctors began to disagree among themselves. And what they began to disagree about was, could you give a person an abortion to protect her life in the broad sense of the word, her social life, her emotional life, her mental life, as opposed to just her physical breathing life? And once doctors disagreed among themselves, doctors went to state legislatures saying, please protect our right to do what we've been doing all along. Because many states were changing, 16 states had liberalized their laws on the eve of Roe v. Wade. So I think the Supreme Court thought that it needed to rationalize state law because the laws were so different.
As estimativas do aborto variam muito. Algumas pesquisas dizem que 630 mil procedimentos são feitos anualmente. Outras contabilizam 886 mil com base em outros modelos. De forma geral, o aborto é um privilégio, porque ele também custa caro. Um remédio abortivo, responsável por mais de metade dos procedimentos, era vendido por $560 em 2020. Para colocar essa cifra em contexto, vale lembrar que cerca de 1/3 das famílias americanas não seriam capazes ou teriam dificuldade para pagar uma despesa de emergência de $400.
About 60% of all women who get abortions are already married. They have a child. They are low income. And if you ask them why they're doing it, they mention their commitments to other people. They're not selfish. They're not flighty. They're not just people who didn't use birth control. They're people who say, I have to take care of the kids I have. I just can't take care of another child. I have to take care of my elderly parents. My kids are just in school now, and I have some time to take care of my parents. I just can't. So oddly enough, it's a deeply moral act.
Embora tenha confirmado a intenção de derrubar a lei do acesso ao aborto em nível federal, a Suprema Corte diz que o texto vazado não é final e que cabe mudanças. No documento divulgado à sociedade, o direito ao aborto fica sob a decisão de cada estado.
The conservative court is a product of the Trump presidency. No matter what you think of Donald Trump, the 3 justices whom the Trump administration nominated are intellectually first-rate judges. And they differ from each other in significant ways, but they all come from this conservative legal movement, which in the U.S. over the last 20, 25 years has become an intellectual powerhouse by arguing that constitutional interpretation should be based on originalism. There will be political implications. First and foremost, if this opinion comes down as drafted, we'll be in a situation where roughly 25 states will try to block abortions, and the other 25 will welcome or embrace abortions. And so it becomes really a travel hurdle for women who are in those so-called red states. If you're, middle class, wealthy, professional, don't have any problem getting on an airplane, you're fine. But a heavy majority of American women who do get abortions are working class, poor, often living in troubled family or domestic situations, don't necessarily own a car.